Hi, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I hope that you all are doing well. So, the Lord led me to get on and share with you guys a very transparent and intimate story with you guys. Um, on how he has always been with me, and maybe it's going to help somebody, because at first I was like, God, why would you want me to share that? And I had so many questions, but either way it go, he'll use it how he uses it, and do whatever he does. So um the gist of this, or like the title of this message, is I tried, but God wouldn't let me because he knew my heart. And what I mean by that is, as I get into the story, it'll make sense. I was really running from God. um well, more than likely because I didn't understand. This is when I was way younger. um and I didn't know what was happening in my life. Um, I was pretty much running off of pain and hurt and rejection, all those things. So, pretty much, I was operating off of strictly, emotions. I knew in my heart, um, there was a God and certain things about Him. Um, we kind of grew up in church, but not so much. More of like a, we attend on Sundays, and Easter and holidays, things like that. We weren't like a hardcore, study and, Sunday school, all that type of, family going. So I really didn't know much. Um, about the Bible and about the Lord and the things that are happens and things like that. I just really knew. It almost was like not even the surface of who God was or nothing. I just knew church, and that was kind of it. And a lot of people were that way. Just going to church and not really doing the things that it requires for you to do afterwards. That makes sense. The studying and fellowshipping and all those great things. But anyway, so for years I operated off of, my emotions based off how people treated me and did me. I struggled with a lot of things growing up, and as I got older, I feel like as though they began to get worse. Or maybe, well, because I would grow up and then be in different situations, and things would happen, and it just seems like it just added to the hurt, it just added to the pain, and it just felt like, there was a hole that just kept digging and digging and digging. That, after a while I was just like, I'm tired. Like, tired of fighting. I'm tired of being here doing this particular situation. It kind of felt like it was the same situation, different people, a different year. Um, and it just began to get really hard because I didn't have an understanding of who God was. So I'll get right into the story. Um, I had some friends back in the day. This is when I was real young. This is when I wasn't even able to get into the club. So picture that. So the person I was with, um, they would, take me around, sneak me into clubs and stuff like that. For me, I felt like it was pretty fun. It was cool. It was whatever. But this particular time, we were outside of a club. You know how everybody, be in the parking lot, chilling, talking, drinking, whatever. And we were in the parking lot for some reason. I can't remember for what. Um, but while we were out there, we were chatting with people, um, and we were drinking. So I don't know if we had already came out the club or we were looking to go in. It was something of that nature. I don't know. But anyway, while we were waiting outside, a couple people came up that they knew, and we were just kind of talking, and I was trying to drink. And anybody knows, um, I believe it was E&J. Those the big bottles of E&J. Okay, them things are strong first and nasty, but that's what she or he they had to drink. So that's what I was drinking, and mind you, this was the big bottle of E&J. I don't remember how big they are, um, and I remember I literally drank half of that bottle straight, and I was wondering, like, is something else in here or am I just tripping? I mean, I should have been drunk because I was not a big drinker. Um, so from my experience at that time, I should have been, I mean, like, laid out drunk type of thing. But it was crazy because the more I drank, it just kind of felt like the more sober I became. And I was like, is something wrong with this E&J? Like, I'm trying to get drunk, I'm trying to drink, or just trying to enjoy myself, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm telling you, I could not get drunk for nothing. Um, I think they had some other drinks or something, bottles or something. I was trying to drink it, and it was just like I wouldn't get drunk. And I don't know, for me, I just kind of felt like that was very weird and that was very strange that day. And then, I got bored because I'm like, we're not doing nothing and I'm not getting drunk, and it just felt boring. So, which was crazy. I began walking because where the car was parked, everyone was parked along the sidewalks of the place. So it was kind of like wrapped around the building and, like parked on other buildings and stuff. So there was just a whole bunch of cars everywhere. So I just began walking around. I was like, well, maybe you just ain't hit me yet or something. So I just began walking around. And I didn't notice this whole time we were like right there. The car was parked right in front of I want to say it was a church. And I didn't notice it the whole time. And then um, as I was walking, um, I turned and I looked and I said, because it was so dark, I couldn't see exactly what the building was. When I turned and I looked, and I seen two statues. It was two statues of baby angels, and I said, "Oh, that's a church." And I don't know, I just felt something in my spirit, and I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to be here. I know I'm not even supposed to be drinking. And it was just like I already knew, but I'm like, out of all places I could have been, we were right in front of a church. And I didn't notice it because the way it looked and the way we were turned, until I started walking and then I had seen the two angels. And I'm like, out of all things I could have seen was those two things. Um, and that it started weighing on my heart, and I was just like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to be drunk, and just a whole bunch of things just kept running through my head, and I was just like, man, I know I'm not supposed to be here. And I already knew that even before going out. But you know what I mean? I was trying to have fun, when I. So, it made sense later on in the night. So, we then, after a while, I think, I don't know, something happened and we were getting ready to leave. Mind you, the person that I was with, I couldn't drive at that time. Well, I could drive, but like, to the store and back type of thing, but I didn't have my license to like drive. So I wasn't um familiar or comfortable with driving like on the road like that at that time. But mind you, the person I was with, they were drinking. I didn't know how much they drank because it didn't seem as though it was affecting their, um, their functioning, their motor skills. They looked fine. Um, but I was asking them, I was like, "Are you sure you're okay to drive?" Because I knew they had been drinking, but I didn't know how much because I wasn't paying attention like that. They were like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Da 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 da. And then what so happened, there was a person that was behind us that was going to follow us to the next place that we were going to. Um, And then we got in the car, we began to drive, and everything was okay for like 2 seconds. Then they picked up speed and they started going really fast, and I was like, hey, it's like, slow down. Like, do you need me to drive? Like, I can't drive that good, but I can make it work. Type of thing. And then the person, they picked up speed, and where we were, it was an overpass. So those overpass where it goes up and kind of goes down like a hill. And as we were going and the car picked up speed, I guess they were hitting the gas. So they were hitting the gas as we were going up the ramp, the bump. And as they went up, I mean, the car flipped on two wheels. And mind you, when you go over overpass, when you look down, you can see it's like another street, or another intersection or something, or maybe some dirt or something. And the car almost flipped over the side. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't know how the car had got back down on two wheels, because the way we had went up so fast, it went on the two legs on the side, and it was like a blow was gonna flip us over. But somehow the car slammed back down on two wheels, and we went over. And I was like, oh my God, now I know for sure I'm not supposed to be here. And I was like, thank God I was not drunk, because I felt like I would have just fell out. But I just felt like, that really let me know, just that first part. So then after we leave from there, we wind up going to another place or club, and it's like a I forgot what, like a motorcycle club type of thing. A lot of older people, I know. And at that time, the person that came with us, the extra person that came with us to that club, we were sitting, and I was just kind of startled from what had just happened. And I was just kind of like, whew. And I think I was trying to drink a beer or something, and I was just kind of like over the night already. And then all of a sudden, I was just kind of like walking around, lounging, just kind of checking out the place, because I had never been there before. And all of a sudden, how people be at the club. I guess someone pulled out a gun or started shooting, and then the person that, because I couldn't see where it was coming from, or I guess the extra person that was with us, seen the person pull out the gun or start shooting or something, and they grabbed my arm and took off running. So I didn't know what was going on, and all I knew was like the person had me, and they were like running to the car, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then like we were like ducking down by the cars and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, and I didn't know the person, but the person knew the person I was with. But they took it and they went beyond to make sure I was okay. They were really like, come on, this and that. And I was just like, wow, they don't even know me. They could have just helped out their friend and left me behind, type of thing. But for some weird reason, they were really adamant of making sure that I was okay. And it was kind of crazy, because I was like, this was my final confirmation just for that night alone. Like, you weren't even supposed to be out here like that, or you weren't even supposed to be out with this particular person or these people. And I knew that. And I say all that to say, I feel like God led me to share these stories, because I was trying to run. I was trying to have the party life. I was trying to do this. I was trying to do that. You know what I mean? And God saved me twice that night. 2 times that night, because I was operating off of emotions, feelings, and all those type of things. So for those that are feeling like, you're hurt and you just want to do this and you just want to do that, God knows your heart. And I really truly believe, God didn't let those things happen to me or let me slip into that lifestyle, because there's been many other situations, but that night it was just different. It just felt extremely different, and I didn't know and I didn't understand, but I knew something was different.